So it's officially the 40th anniversary of the Legend of Zelda series, and I thought what better way than to celebrate the 40th anniversary than to rank every single 3D Legend of Zelda games. Now, honestly, I think that there definitely is a lot of great things with the Legend of Zelda series, and I want to start this video off by saying there's no Legend of Zelda game that's inherently bad. So there's going to be all 7 3D Legend of Zelda games in this video, but none of them are completely washed. They're just bad games. That's not where I'm going with this. This is just personally how I think, and we're basing them off of 2025 gameplay and 2026 gameplay. Not, hey, when it released, this game was golden, peak gaming 20 years ago. Pretty much how it is right now when playing this game. So, what's going on, everyone? How's your day going? Let's get straight into the video. Okay, so coming in at number 7th, we got The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Now, honestly, Majora's Mask really isn't a bad game. There definitely is a lot of great and unique qualities, but for me, this game definitely isn't for me. So after playing this game just recently, I definitely have a lot of things to say about it, and I'm not a big fan of The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Now, I will say, the story in this game is pretty unique. There definitely is a lot of things to go and do and explore, but really where it falls flat to me is the fact that you have to restart a specific area all the time. The moon comes crashing down. If you don't know exactly where you're going, you never played the game before, this game might be a living nightmare. Unless I just have no idea what the heck I'm doing, but I will say, this game just sort of falls flat when it comes to that. It kind of is boring and sometimes, and other times it's pretty much just a fetch quest. So I really have to say that I'm not the biggest fan. I know that there is a large community that love this game, and that's completely okay. I think the game definitely has the bones to have a really great Legend of Zelda game, and honestly, it really does give you that challenge if you were looking for one. It does make it a pretty interesting sequel to The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, but I completely don't know where that connection really follows through. Okay, so coming in at number 6, we got The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Now, Skyward Sword honestly is a really cool and unique game. For it being on the Nintendo Wii or even the Nintendo Switch, the motion controls are really cool and really unique. Playing as like, oh, my one hand is going to be the sword and the other hand is going to be the shield. It honestly is really cool. You kind of get to get up and do some exercises while you're playing this game. It is something that I find really great, but then when it comes to it, I'm not the biggest fan of only having 3 areas in this game. There only is 3. You pretty much go back and forth all the time, and it's sort of hard to kind of play this game in some way. I'm not going to say the game is a bad game because it's not a bad game. It just has those aspects that it really is sort of like a fetch quest. You have to go down, you have to get the specific things, you have to go back up the Skyloft, then you have to go back down to wherever you get it, then you have to go back up, and it pretty much is a rinse and repeat formula. But where the game really shines for me is honestly the music. The music is so awesome, and there's definitely a lot of times in some of my videos that I will use the background music of The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. More notably, the credits. I really do enjoy the songs, and honestly, it is fantastic. The music really goes hard when you really come to think about it. Okay, so coming in at number 5, we have The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Now, Twilight Princess definitely is a really cool and unique game. There definitely is a lot of things to say about it, and honestly, some of it is good. Like, I really did enjoy the fact that this is definitely a different Legend of Zelda game. Instead of being more like open and more like less dark and kind of silly and funny, it pretty much gives you a slap down, hey, this is going to be a hard game. This is going to be a dark game. So get ready, get your peepers peeled, and let's see what you're really made of. It honestly is really unique in that way. Playing as Wolf Link and playing different dungeons and temples honestly is really cool. And I will say, I will have to admit that the temples in this game honestly are really, really cool and really well planned out. Some places you will have to really think about, how do I do this? Am I just missing something? Am I missing a key? Do I have to get a special item? It definitely doesn't feel like a traditional Zelda sort of dungeon, it feels a little bit different in some way. It still technically is that traditional dungeon, but I just think that it honestly is really, really great and convenient. I don't really have much bad things to say about it, or even at all. I just think that there's other games that I really did enjoy and play really great in 2026, or just is a good game. Okay, so moving over to number 4, we got the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Now, Ocarina of Time pretty much is a fantastic masterpiece. I will admit, it really is a good game. I think that there definitely is a lot of great things about it, and when you think about the Legend of Zelda experience, you'll probably go right over to Ocarina of Time. It pretty much is that. You have everything. You have the Triforce, you have the goddesses, you have dungeons, you have like Hyrule Castle, you have everything associated that really makes it feel great. The side quests and the quest itself are really cool, and the dungeons, we have to say that this is honestly that truly special dungeon experience. The way that I really look at it is honestly a fantastic experience. If you want a base Polis experience, well, you go over straight to Ocarina of Time. It really is cool. It pretty much feels like that original Zelda experience. No matter if you're playing the N64 version or the 3DS version, you'll have a great time. But speaking of these two versions, the one reason that I would say this isn't at the higher spots is because of the controls. I dislike the controls in this game. It really is a challenge to actually play the game because you really have to ZR target. There's no 360 camera. There's just isn't that. It kind of feels sort of blocky and quirky in some ways when you really look at it. But besides that, I would say this game is actually really, really good. Coming in at number 3, we got the Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker. Now, honestly, I do enjoy the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker quite a lot, actually. I really do enjoy the tune design, the music, like especially Dragon Roost Island. I will come back to this music a lot of times, and I'll be like, yep, this is peak gaming right here. We got awesome music, we got a lot of different things, and honestly, it's really cool. The dungeons really are interesting. You really have to go to different islands, explore, go see what some of these islands actually are made of. And if you really want to 100% the game, well then you're going to have to get used to traveling a lot. Playing through the GameCube version and the Wii U version honestly is something truly special, especially the Wii U version. Really looking down at your gamepad and playing through this game, looking down, okay, so this is my map here, I'm going here, it honestly is something truly special. I really do enjoy that experience, and especially the dungeons, in my opinion. I would say the dungeons are some of the greatest. They're not super, super hard, but they're not super, super easy either. Some of them you really gotta think, okay, so I have to go here, I gotta go over there, I gotta make my way to the top of this pillar, and honestly, the sort of story that this game has for it is really interesting. Your sister gets kidnapped, and then you gotta go and save the sister, and then all of a sudden there's pirates, and you hop on the ship with the pirates, and all of a sudden one of your favorite closest friends pirate turns out to be Zelda as a pirate, which honestly is really interesting. And it turns out that Hyrule was flooded, which honestly is really cool, and you go into the secret dimensions where Hyrule is not flooded, and you get yourself the Master Sword, and overall it is an awesome story. I really do enjoy that. Okay, so moving on over to the number 2 slot. We got the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now, honestly, I think that Breath of the Wild really is that sense of freedom. It really feels great just to hear the birds chiming in, doing their bird things, and then you feel like you're in the wilderness, you're touching grass, you're pretty much going anywhere you want. This is truly something special to me, and I really do enjoy this game for that, because I am in the mindset that I love open world games. Being able to go anywhere you want is something truly special, and honestly, games that are open world, I feel like they're really great, and this one is especially well built. I love the story. Sometimes you can say that the memories are all washed up and sort of weird because you have to go to one memory and all of a sudden you get spoiled from the next memory. But besides that, I think it really is great, and especially the music once again. The music in this game just is great. It really is that peaceful experience, and especially the one that you can pretty much complete the game and you and Zelda are sort of looking at Hyrule Castle. It honestly is really awesome, and it just gives you, oh, that sense of accomplishment. Okay, so I completely saved all the things. The one thing that I will say about this game is that the dungeons do fall flat. In fact, there's no dungeons at all in this game. So you get Divine Beast, and the Divine Beast definitely aren't the greatest thing for dungeons. It pretty much is, okay, so I go to point A, and then I go to point B, And then I go to point C. Yep, I quite literally get points. And then all of a sudden I do the boss fight. There's not really that exploration where you have to go in the dungeons. I have to get keys. I have to do all of these things. The dungeons aren't there. That's why I just think maybe other Legend of Zelda games sort of float that boat. But I just love the fact of being able to go anywhere you want. And honestly, the weapons breaking wasn't even a problem for me. I thought that weapon breaking is fine. I thought that being able to just, okay, so my weapon breaks. Well, I'm picking up the stick. We'll use a stick. I will admit that it does get sort of tedious after a while, but usually I'll just use the Master Sword anyways, because I think it really fits the build. Okay, so you probably know where we're going with this, but number 1 slot, we got the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Now, Tears of the Kingdom definitely is that fantastic experience. Everything that I loved about Breath of the Wild, it made it even better. So it pretty much is that 2 times experience. Now, for those of you that were just saying Tears of the Kingdom is just a glorified DLC, do you even know what DLC actually is? Because I feel like we've been over this before. But honestly, I think this game truly is special. It pretty much is Breath of the Wild, but so much bigger. Quite literally, you have the depths, you have the sky, you have different ways to do the missions. And if Breath of the Wild was already big, pretty much trying to create your own way, how to travel, or how to do the sort of shrines, it honestly is carried over to Tears of the Kingdom, where it pretty much is up to you. Okay, do you want to make yourself a boat to do the shrine? Do you want to make yourself a plane to do the shrine? It's completely up to you, and that's honestly fantastic. If you want to, you can make yourself a giant long stick to try to use it as a bridge. Honestly, is the coolest thing possible. I just kind of wish that the Master Sword was a little bit more powerful, because in the story, it kind of is really interesting. It goes to the past and the future, and honestly, it would be cool if you were able to go into different dimensions. But besides that out of the way, fantastic. The story was honestly really great. I did enjoy it. I found it, there was some holes, and then you had Hyrule Warriors, which really explained some of those holes. But anyways, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that I ranked these games pretty good, or would you change some of these things in your opinion? Would you put Majora's Mask in first place and move Tears of the Kingdom all the way to the bottom, or would you do something completely different? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Consider to hit the like button, maybe subscribing if you're new. We do a bunch of different Nintendo content on this channel. Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, news, pretty much everything. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Consider to have a fantastic day, and see you in the next one.